Hey everyone. In this week's video, I want to show something that I haven't really shown it in any of these demo videos yet, because it's actually something that I hadn't really figured out how to demo until just a couple days ago. So, as you might know, Cortex is a tool for audit and archival of your Cherwell data, and kind of the three uh, novel aspects of Cortex as opposed to some of the other options that you might have available to you are that it provides a familiar interface, it requires no changes to your data, and it's super simple to configure. I'm doing everything in my power to make the configuration, a couple settings, um, as close as I can possibly get to that. Now, I've shown the familiar interface and the configuration aspect in multiple demos. Pretty much all of the demos have to do with the familiar interface. Uh, every single one of them shows something that looks like a BizOp form. Um, so I don't think I need to hit that one again. I've shown the configuration, and every time I add a thing that is worth configuring, I do a new video on that. That's not going to change every time I add, say, a new way to authenticate. I'll do a video on that. Speaking of which, there are a bunch of those coming up because I'm doing a lot with authentication over the last week, over the coming week. So stay tuned for those. If you're not already subscribed to the channel, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Um, and oh, before I forget, every Tuesday I host a user group. I host the Cortex users group. You don't have to be actively using Cortex to join. You can be thinking about using Cortex, thinking about evaluating Cortex, um, curious as to how other people are using it. That's every Tuesday at 10 a.m. Pacific time. And there's a link down in the description to get an invite to that. So I hope to see you there. All right. So with that, let's talk about that third aspect of uh, what really makes Cortex different from everything else. And that's the fact that you don't have to make any changes to your Cherwell data whatsoever. And to prove that, what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to load up a database, or I'm going to open a database in Cherwell. I'm going to create a new incident, and then I'm going to show you that incident in Cortex. So let's switch over to the demo machine. All right, so I've already logged into Cherwell. I'm in, this is actually the database that I use for the Cortex demo. So the link down in the description below, it's archivesdemo.thoughtcolony.com. This is the database that it's running on. So in previous videos, I've said it's the Cherwell demo database. It is the Cherwell demo database, but we're actually going to add some things to it. So some of these demos have added, I think I added a business object at one point a few weeks ago. I've added a couple of records since then, but it did start out being the Cherwell demo database, and I'm not doing any funny business behind the scenes, any uh, you know go drop down to the SQL Server level and write some code and do something to it. No, it is running in Cherwell. It is a completely valid Cherwell database. I've logged into it. I'm going to go ahead and just create a new incident. And before I do anything else, we have a new incident number, but we haven't actually saved the incident. So let's go over to Cortex and try to search for that number, 102383. 102383. No records. Now keep that in mind because I'm actually going to drop back to this page for later in the demo. Let's just fill in all these details. Let's just say John is requesting this. We'll say help. And we'll pick a service classification like password reset. Sounds good. And John's very loud, so his stuff has priority one, or he feels it should have priority one. And we'll just save it. That's all we need to save. All right, so now it's saved. A bunch of other stuff is filled in. We can see it's a P1. Uh, we have SLAs, all that good stuff. Let's switch back over to Cortex, and the number is 102383. We'll search for it, and there it is. Now, if I double click it, we'll go to the BizOn form, and you can see there's still a few things that aren't 100%, like duration expressions aren't in there yet, and the related item pictures are showing up kind of funky. Um, but everything else is there. This is the record that I just created, and you can actually see created by Cherwell admin on 325 at 401. This machine is actually in UTC, so 4:03 a.m. Yeah, so I probably created it about 2 minutes ago at 4:01. Um, so there you go. There's the record all saved. Uh, Same database. I didn't make any data changes to anything. There's no funny business going on. It is the exact same XML that Cherwell understands, uh, that and Cortex understands it as well. Um, yeah, it is literally the same database in SQL Server. No copying of data, no data transformations, no ETL, nothing. It is the exact same SQL database. Um, I don't know. I'm super excited about that. I hope you are too. Um, yeah, if you like this video, hit the thumbs up button. If you're not subscribed to the channel, hit the subscribe button. The user group every Tuesday, 10 a.m. Pacific time. I'll be there. It's basically time that I make available to talk to all of you, answer your questions, and facilitate conversations that you can have with other people who are using Cortex or thinking about using Cortex or that sort of thing. If you have any questions, my contact information is down below. There's a link that you can use to schedule some time with me. And also, if you want to see Cortex on your own data, there are multiple ways you can do that. A good place to start is the documentation site, also linked down below. Or you can schedule time with me, and I will walk you through the whole process. I'll give you a demo and help you figure out how it's going to work with your particular setup, depending on whether you're hosted with Avanti or on premises. In order to run Cortex, you'll have to bring your data to a machine of your choosing. So it ends up being on premises anyway, but we'll walk you through all that in the conversation that we have. Again, links down below to do all that. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you actually probably sooner than next week. I've got a bunch of videos coming up, and I don't want to wait, a week between each of them. So there'll be a bunch of videos coming out soon. Stay tuned for that. Make sure you subscribe so that you get notified when those videos come out. Thanks for watching. I'll see you all very soon.